So now we're going to look at the next section. Oh, look at that, right on the back of the thing. I flipped the paper over to write this, and it was already written there. Amazing. I amaze myself. Okay, so in the exposition, which we talked about, measures 1 through 28, we started in the key of tonic with our primary area. Then we had a transition. Another characteristic of the transition is an increase in energy. Do you see how this is primarily eighth notes and it's legato, and then we get all these flashy runs, scales up and down, and just this incredible buzzing here. I think this needs a little more ink on it. All this creates energy, which allows us to modulate to a new key. We get to this chord, we have a huge break in the texture, and boom, that sets up our next section. That's the transition with the secondary thematic area and the closing material. So now the development. The purpose of the development is to pick up where we left off and somehow get us back to the key of tonic over here. Okay? It may go through various keys. It may do unusual things. Now, this sonata actually doesn't behave perfectly. Normally, the exposition would begin in tonic and modulate up to the dominant. And then in the recap, it would begin in tonic and stay in the tonic. Okay? This one, on the other hand, takes a kind of a lazy method. This goes from tonic to dominant. The recap doesn't start in tonic, it starts in subdominant. Okay? And what happens when you go up? See how this goes up a perfect fifth? What happens when you go up a perfect fifth from the subdominant? You end up at tonic, and you can continue to the end. Sometimes this is called the lazy composer's sonata form, because you can take the entire exposition, transpose it down a perfect fifth, and you don't have to compose anything more. Now, Mozart actually didn't do that. He did some extra things in here. But anyway, this is atypical, just so you know. So this one may actually be moving from our 5 chord to 5/4, since we're setting up a 4 chord here. All right, let's listen to this, and I want to listen for cadences. The development extends from measure 29 through the return of the opening material. And you can see here, this is the opening theme coming back, and it is in the key of F, as I mentioned. So right before that is a 5/7 of 4, key of F. Okay. I'm going to call this 5/7 of 4 right now. However, this is probably, we're going to analyze it as a 5/7 since we've actually modulating to the key of F. So a 5/7 in the key of F. Let's listen to this and listen for cadences. So, where's my music? Here it is. I'm going to go back just a notch so we can hear the closing. Okay, so we had that cadence there on G major, and then we hit G again, which sounds like 1, but then we get B flat, B flat, B flat. Okay, so this is actually changing from G major to G minor. Okay, we don't have to do one of these bracket things because actually this is still in the key of G. It's just a change of mode from G major to G minor. So we get 1, 5/7, 1, 5/7, and of course, we're going to get 1 up here. All right, so we had this cadence in G, 5/7, 1, G major, 5/7, 1, G major, 1, and then it changes to minor. G minor, 5/7 to 1 in G minor, 5/7 to 1 in G minor. Okay, let's hear a little bit of this. Okay, so that was an arrival in the key of G minor. Let's listen for the next spot where there's an arrival. You hear that? This spot is exactly the same as this, except in the key of D minor. All right, so somehow we've arrived here on D minor. Okay, let's continue. Did you hear that? It sounded like we just arrived in the key of A minor. Look through this next spot, okay? Do you see how there's G sharp? We've got B, C, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Imagine you have an A at the beginning of that. Do you see that's an A harmonic minor scale? Okay. And look here, we have G sharp and F natural. Sorry, this is melodic minor, this is harmonic minor. So we are now in the key of A minor. Okay, so somehow we've gotten from D minor to A minor. And then from A minor, we somehow get to the key of F major. This chord right here is actually something you don't know. And this is the pivot chord that connects us from A minor to F major. We're going to defer this one until I talk about this section. So your next assignment, based on this piece, is to take the development section, which is measure 29 through here, downbeat of measure 42, and do a harmonic analysis. I did a little bit of you. I helped you figure out the keys, but I want to look at just the development a second. It starts in G minor, okay, and then it goes to D minor. You know how this is 2 flats, this is 1 flat. I don't know why I did a Roman numeral there. So that's closely related, easy to modulate to. And then it goes to A minor, which is 0 flats and sharps, again, closely related. And then we come back to F major, which is 1 flat. Okay, so on our circle of fifths, we got C, G, D, C, G, F, excuse me. That was very dumb. And B flat, and here's G minor, D minor, A minor. So we start here on G, and then we go here, closely related, and then we go here, closely related, and then we go here, back a step, closely related. So you will analyze part of this in G minor, you'll analyze some of it in D minor, you'll analyze some of it in A minor, and at the end, you analyze the last thing in F major. That's your assignment. We will go over this in class on Monday, but give it your best shot. Okay, this is in addition to the previous assignments posted, and I'm going to give you one more video with some activities to do like we would have done in lecture today. Okay, thanks everybody. See you in the next video.